We're here.
We're alive.
How's everybody doing?
Super.
All right.
I knew it. I just knew it. Somehow.
I'm freezing.
Look at, we're 10 days out from Christmas. 10 days.
Wow.
How you feeling, Bill?
I'm doing better. Thank you.
I got that same flu you got, man. It sucked.
It does.
You cough and then you wheeze and yeah, it's horrible.
I had 6 days of it with fever and chills. And,
Oh yeah. Same thing.
bad. But we're back to work now. We're good.
I got back to work, and I stepped in a pothole and twisted my ankle. So
no.
Oh no.
Didn't break any glass?
No, I was jumping in my truck and freaking damn hole. All my weight went on it, and I'm like, damn it. So I'm still working though. Still working, getting it done.
Time to call Junior.
Junior's I got two young guys that are rolling with me. They're doing all the heavy lifting and stuff, so I'm just supervising.
There you go.
So same time the training done. So hopefully maybe they'll be my next installers.
Love it.
Yeah, as long as you're not breaking any glass, that's what.
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, hey, I was having a little instant message chat here with one of the members, Joe Reed, and he was asking about suppliers. He's in Florida. Seems like he's in Tallahassee. So Bill, you're our guy in Florida. Do you know where he can get some shower guard and low iron glass in the Tallahassee area?
Tallahassee's way up in the panhandle. So, I mean, I would think Coral out of Alabama is pretty darn close to him.
Coral out of Alabama.
Yeah, out of Tuscaloosa.
So he's pretty close to the border up there.
Yeah, they're way up to the Alabama border. I would say Coral would be a good option for him.
Awesome.
God, they used to deliver way down here, so that should be easy for them.
All right, there you go. Well, Joe, if you're listening, man, there you go. Give Coral a try. See if that doesn't work out for you. He's got a supplier. I don't want to say who they are, but he's having problems.
Yeah,
you guys know how that is, man.
My shower door guy is that the guy? Is that his supplier?
I don't think so.
No. I don't know who his supplier is up there. That's a long
way. Saying. Come on, Keith, say it. Say it out loud. Come on. So that people on the podcast can.
Yeah, eat shit.
There you go. That's a Keith I know.
Now it's out there.
Cool. Well, hey, along those lines, how's everybody doing as far as supply goes? Are your supply lines holding up for you?
Yep.
Yeah. Actually, it's almost back to normal.
That's what it seems like over here.
Yeah, it's almost back to normal. Even aluminum extrusions, we were over a year out, and now they're down to 7-8 weeks. So finally got it going again.
We're having trouble with our window company, but I guess
that's why you got to transition to shower doors. Forget those windows.
Yeah.
Junior likes his shower doors.
Yeah.
That's for somebody else in the family, Adrian.
Sorry.
That's Junior.
There you go.
I still got to hear about it.
So. It's got Junior's name all over it.
Repeat after me. No.
No, still. I've been waiting 4 weeks on a pair of glass-to-glass hinges from just in chrome finish from CRL. I don't know what the heck the holdup is.
Wow.
Yeah, and I got a customer. I got half a cheek left on my right side. So, and then on our storefront, our black anodized aluminum's 8 weeks out.
Really?
Yeah.
You try FHC. They're pretty stock. They're pretty good.
I agree with you. When I became aware of the delay, Adrian, I called FHC and they had them, but it was going to be a trade-off. I'm going to get the hinges in the next 2 days, so. But you're right. That's been my plan B. They seem to have more stuff than CRL.
Yeah.
Where are you located?
West Virginia.
Oh, you're
They
over there.
just announced today too. Barry called me last night. They just bought out Morris Industries in Carolina and all their locations. So they said every Friday they're gonna have a milk run from LA to South Carolina to fulfill that fulfillment house. So all of us on the East Coast, our lead times are going to go down considerably.
Oh, good.
So you might want to look into them because that'll
Is
be
that
pretty close from
FHC,
you.
Keith, or is
Yeah.
that CRL?
Yeah.
FHC? Yeah.
Yeah.
I like their customer service better. That's just been my experience.
They're awesome, man. I love them.
Mhm. Yep, they're up and coming.
You always talk to somebody and like not to say anything bad about CRL, but it seems like everybody at CRL has a stick up their ass. So and guys at FHC, man, they call you back. You talk to somebody. You got your own team, area team members, and they talk to you, man, like you're a person, like you matter to them. And that's what I like about them. And I call them, they call me right back. I mean, they're awesome. Very good.
But
I
it's
love
all
to hear
about-
that. I love to hear good news, about
Yeah.
suppliers, because there's plenty, there's plenty of bad news. There's plenty of, stuff to whine about. But when people are doing it right, I think
When your sales rep gives you them their personal cell phone number, because just in case you have problems, but you gotta go mine right there. You got something good going on.
Yeah.
So,
it's all about the service, man. I mean, it's like, people can buy a piece of glass anywhere, right?
yeah.
But it's how you make them feel, it's treating them right. I think that really makes all the difference. But same goes for us, right? And our customers and our competition or whatever, if you treat people better than your competitors do, you can pretty much name your price.
Yeah, within reason. It makes a big difference. It's a big difference.
Absolutely. Makes a difference to me. I mean, it's like if I've got a choice of who I'm going to work with, I'd just assume work with someone who's nice to me,
Of course. I think a lot of guys got to understand that when you're buying from vendors, they're as much of a partner as your customers are. So you got to treat them with respect and you'll get respect as well. But when you really need something and you know you're not that pain in the ass guy, you're going to get it quicker. And of course, if you pay your bill quick, that helps too.
Yeah.
Never hurts. Never hurts. So that's good. So it sounds like supplies are going along pretty well. People are getting their glass. People are getting their hardware for the most part. What else is happening out there?
Hey, Chris, did you get a request for a new member from a gal actually from Guardian? I put Melanie Detmer and I forget this woman's name, but she wanted to come in this meeting. They said they were deathly afraid, and I said you wouldn't bite. But it was actually two bigwigs from Guardian that wanted to come on here. They said they were going to reach out to you. I gave them your information.
Wow, no, I wish they would.
Okay. I'll reach back out to them through LinkedIn. They said they wanted to come out. They heard about this, so it's getting a lot of traction. That's cool.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, love to hear from those guys. I don't know if they think, they're going to come in here and we're going to.
Well, I already
Use
said at
them
the
or
table, I
something.
said, it won't be a roast for too long.
Yeah.
Was
I
it
mean,
Guardian
Is it-
started the glass increase and them that did it?
What about the glass increase?
Wasn't it Guardian that started all that crap? All that 40% increase on the glass? Was it them? Or was it somebody else?
Yeah, they were the kickoff. Yes.
Okay, yeah, bring them on. I guess some
That's why they're scared.
Yeah. Well, it's been a few months now. I mean, I think we're all pretty much used to it now. As
Yeah,
the sting has kind of gone away.
Hey, can I throw this question out? I've been, I guess, looking at and admiring some of these wine rooms you guys are doing, and we've done a couple. But is the and some of the way I do it is I got United Plate Glass is a supplier of mine up out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and so I get my tempered there, and they do a lot of times they'll do normal hardware, but it seems to me that I'm just kind of curious as to this hardware or how you attack these things. I'm looking at your enclosures. They're beautiful. They're big. They tend to be big, but I'm just seeing, I don't mean to simplify it too much, but I'm seeing U channels on the bottom, or are you using like 4-inch side light bases? And I see the patch fittings on the doors. I mean, what sets apart these wine rooms from and pardon the analogy, maybe it's not a fair analogy, but just a regular big shower enclosure?
It essentially is a big shower enclosure, depending on the hardware that you use. But if you use shower door hardware, top and bottom pivots, it's essentially a shower door enclosure, channel, whatnot. Or you use commercial hardware, you patch fittings, depending on what the specs are. We do a ton of wine cellars, and they've always wanted. I mean, we probably do over 100 wine cellars a year with this one company, and they always want just hinges. So yeah, I mean, it really just depends, but it is essentially just an oversized shower, full height shower. You just got to get your gaps right depending on how you're sealing the thing.
Brandon, I appreciate that, because yours is one of the ones I admire. I kind of follow you, but in terms of these climate control rooms, are you using vinyls to create those seals on these things? I mean, or
use
anything special?
We use like a top and bottom T-sweep, and then like on the jambs between the doors and stuff, we use a window pile, like mohair window felt or something like that. That way it doesn't stick when you're trying to open them with people, because you've seen it when people trying to use like bulb seal and stuff like that, and it just peels off and it gets sticky and all that. But the window pile allows it to seal pretty good. So
is that window pile you're buying something like an aftermarket type thing? Not like when I order shower doors, the vinyls are coming with it from
yeah, we'll buy it from CR Lawrence Sales. I don't know the part number, but we get like we get it from Strybuck.
Right, okay.
And it comes with adhesive backed already. And the cool thing is you can actually like shave it down. So if it's a little too tight, you can actually run a flat razor blade across it to shave it down. Probably can run a beard trimmer on it too to shave it down. We've just never tried it, but if you need to make it a little thicker, you can run, VHB tape on it, 3M VHB tape or the whatever on it to build it out to get it a little thicker to close up a gap. So it works pretty good.
Yeah. Thank you.
What is the name of the supplier for the piles?
We get it from either CR Lawrence or Strybuck. Strybuck's like a window supplier. They do like window beads and stuff like for hack outs and replacement and all that. So
Strybuck has like tons and tons. They've got a huge catalog full of stuff. Like every little like roller or handle or anything like.
It's literally the only thing we order from them is rolls of it, because CR Lawrence, it started getting hard to get during the pandemic stuff. So we found it at Strybuck, and we found like 5,000 foot rolls of it and stocked up on that. So because we do so many wine cellars, so, and it ended up being better stuff anyway. So now we just have a ton of it.
Thank you.
Good to know. I didn't think about using something like that. We have some for another purpose, but I would think it's small enough. It's not going to be too visible.
Yeah, it's gray. It's pretty hard to see once it's on the glass. So it's like get it in like 3/16. So the one we use is like a 3/16. So it's quarter by 3/16 or 3/16 by, it's quarter by 3/16, I think. So on 1/2 inch glass, it's right down the center of the glass. When it's shut, it's hard to see it. So, and it blends in with the shadow.
Yeah, that's a good point. I'll try that out.
And then a lot of times we'll do like we'll do like an HJ strike down the center if it's a pair of doors. Sometimes we'll do 2 locks, sometimes we'll do 1 lock, but we'll put a stop at the top and an HJ strike down the center that it closes to, so you can't push the other door in, and you lock 1 door, so you don't have to always unlock 2 doors. If it's a pair of doors, you can unlock 1 door and be able to open both of them. So we'll do that.
Yeah, what kind of striker or how are
Just
you
that, like
fastening one of the doors?
like the P120 HJ strike for shower doors, just a
Okay.
hard strike, clear.
Oh, okay, but you have to make one door stationary somehow though, so.
Yeah, so we add a stop at the top, so you can't open that door. And then when you lock the active door, you can't pull it open and you can't push it in because there's a stop on the inside. So you're not going to be able to open it up with the 1 door locked.
Okay.
And then what about the climate control? Is that a big issue, or is that pretty easy to deal with?
Yeah, I mean, it's a big issue if you don't know what you're doing with the calcs and stuff, because obviously, the glass doesn't hold temperature, so you got to over calc it depending on how much glass you have. It's not like a insulated wall, and it's not insulated glass. So, but we don't really mess with the
You
units.
let that be handled by others.
But yeah, so we leave that for the professionals.
Right. Yeah.
So I mean, it's not hard though. I mean, if you just get all your values and stuff and you pull their specs, and you probably with glass, you overcompensate a little bit with a unit to make sure, and kind of go from there. I've seen lawsuits happen over it, not being the right unit and stuff like that, and ruining a whole bunch of wine and all kinds of stuff. But people got to understand too, and it's hard to get this across. A wine cellar is just like a refrigerator, right? When it's empty, it's not going to be as cold as it is when it's full. So when people are saying it's not holding temperature before they even put wine in there, you got to actually stock the wine cellar to be able to hold temperature better. Like it's going to insulate it a little bit better with wine in there. So, but
Yeah, exactly. Wine, especially once the wine gets cold, the cold wine is going to help the wine room stay cold.
yeah, and it's not going to run as much. And then,
Right.
Different climates, different parts of the regions, you deal with humidity more than others. So you got to have dehumidifier and all that. And some of these units, these split systems have dehumidifiers built in. Some you got to add a dehumidifier. So there's a lot that's involved on that end of it, but that's why we just leave it to the professionals.
Yeah, now you mentioned early on that you got one account that really does a lot of wine cellars. That must be their specialty.
That's all they are. They're just a wine cellar company. That's all they do. So,
Gotcha.
and we've done wine cellars all over. I mean, we've done them in a lot of different states. We've even bid some out of the country for them before. So
That's pretty cool. Nice niche customer.
right.
Mhm.
It goes well with the work that we do. So sometimes we'll do them for the builders. A wine cellar, we'll bid the same wine cellar for the wine cellar company as the builder, and the builder end up we do work for them anyway, so they'll just use us for glass. So save them a little bit of money instead of the wine cellar company marking it up and selling it to them. So has anyone seen the new CR Lawrence showers online, the web base yet?
Sucks.
No, I haven't seen it yet.
So we're testing it for them right now. We're one of the companies they chose to start betaing it for them, and it's actually pretty sweet. It runs so much faster than Citrix, so much easier to log on, and it's a lot cleaner and builds a shower as you go. And it's
Kind of confusing.
I'm looking forward to that because my showers online is glitching right now.
yeah, they simplified it, and it runs a lot better. It's a lot cleaner. It's brought up to date. It doesn't look like it's from their 1990 anymore.
Right on.
So yeah, it should be pretty good. Hopefully they release that soon.
I know. I
Is
got
it pretty intuitive? How you go through?
Yeah, it's really if you know how to use showers online through Citrix, I mean, you can probably jump right into using the web base. It's pretty simple, but like all the styles are already built out for you. So you don't have to build out your styles now for your templates. If you pick like, when you pick your 3D drawing you want, whether it's a door and panel, you can select transom now before you even go into design to put your sizes in. So you select transom and it already adds a transom and everything for you. So it's just really quick. I mean, you can draw up a door and panel in 5 seconds. So
nice.
and then when you get your quote for your hardware through it, you can it shows your live pricing of your hardware that's actually accurate this time on that. So it actually pulls your legit costs, and you can put in your PO and you can order your hardware directly from that by submitting an order with that PO, and it'll order your hardware. So that's kind of cool.
Have they fixed the part where to order through the web base? I know they were having problems with that. Or they
To
couldn't.
order?
Yeah, so right now the 1990 version, like you say, I could order, because I order from Old Castle, so I order straight from Showers Online to them. I don't have to send them no
Yeah.
cut sheet.
I don't know if they fixed that yet. We don't do it that way. We send our PDFs over. So
Yeah, no, this one I just send it to them and they make it. They just, yeah.
yeah.
When's that supposed to go live, Brandon?
I'm not sure. I think it's probably, I mean, we don't run into really any bugs. I mean, we ran into a few bugs, but it's not really having any issues. So I'd imagine they're going to release it pretty soon. I'm trying to get them to let you save a shower door if it's 84 inches tall, with two regular hinges instead of having to pull 3 hinges off, but they won't do it.
Wow.
I'm like, come on, it's like right at that 80-pound mark. It's like 81 pounds at 84 inches, and everything is getting bigger nowadays. And like so many showers are 84. Like you guys can't, and their hinges are spec'd for 40% to cover 40% more than what they actually allow. I'm like, it's just a pound. Like, let us save it. So we don't have to edit the PDF and take extra time. So yeah.
Well, since I don't really use the shower online and we use the smart builder, I'm not certain if, well, I guess, yeah, we are using Citrix. Yeah, we are.
It's gonna be really similar to Smart Builder the way it is now, because Smart Builder is building it for them, the web
Yeah,
version.
yeah.
So it's the same thing. So now when you see the drawing, you have your drawing and all your hinges on there, it's all right there in front of you. So you can just go click on where you want to move your hinge, where you want to move your clamp. You don't have to go into that page to move it. You can do it all right there from the main page, and all that. So they just made it kind of how Smart Builder is, but a web based.
Yeah. Well, today or yesterday, maybe it was yesterday, Christina, yeah, it was yesterday. Smart Builder has their own Facebook group now of folks like us that use the program, and they get online with Smart Builder to discuss how they can improve things, or what could be new features that would help us out, or how to do things that might already be part of their capability. And so, yeah, yesterday was the first day for that, the first meeting. So anybody who's interested might find out. I can tell, I mean, I guess you could, just find them on the Facebook group if you wanted to participate.
I feel like that's probably one of the best things for a software company, is to have groups like that, to be able to just get input, because you can't think of it all. But if you have a whole bunch of companies utilizing your stuff and they have ideas and stuff like that, that could be a good idea to put in the software and all that. And then by having a Facebook group, it helps with the support, so they don't have to handle the support as much, because they can go to the Facebook group and get other people to help them out without having to waste valuable time.
Yeah. And the better they make it, the more customers they're going to have.
Right.
Yeah. So in the 3D printing industry, that's totally how they do it. Like if you get a 3D printer, they'll have a Facebook group. And I think because a lot of these companies are based out of China, so like even the software that runs the slicer software and stuff like that, and then the machines themselves, they'll just set up a Facebook group. Then just, you have a problem or a question or whatever, you jump in that group, hey, ask the question. Then the manufacturers or the developers, whatever the case may be, they're always monitoring the group. So if you're not finding the answer, they can jump in and like help you or whatever. But a lot of times other users are really more capable even than the manufacturers and the developers, because they're the ones using it on a day-to-day basis. That's why, like, even with the Showers Online thing, it's a smart thing to have a beta version, get people who are already using it out there using it, and finding out what the bugs are. It's just a smart way to do it.
Mhm.
There's a shower door group out there somewhere on Facebook that you can get help in there too.
I heard about that. I can't find them though. It's just a rumor. I think it's one of those, what do you call that? Urban legend or something.
Yeah.
Like Bigfoot or something. There's no way shower door guys would get on Facebook, help each other.
Right.
Woohoo! All right. What else?
Yeah, just going back a little bit on the wine cellar door with the piles. So I'm doing next week a wine cellar, and I'm leaving 3/8 of a gap, bottom and top, and I'm gonna be using a 1/2 inch pile. A 1/2 inch pile will be okay, or should I be trimming or go with a lower one?
I would think if you're using a 1/2 inch pile, it should be good. So the thing with like a wine cellar that you got to be careful with on the bottom is having something continuously drag on the floor, because if it's a wood floor, it's gonna wear over time, and you're gonna keep opening and closing that, and it's gonna wear into the floor. So you always want to keep it off the floor the best you can, like just right at the floor, but just off the floor a little bit. So same thing if you put like a T-sweep on the bottom, it's going to act as like a shower door sweep with no curve. And you know what happens with that? When you open it out and you try to push it back in, it folds over itself and it's getting bound up. So you always try to leave it just a little bit of a gap there. But and then wine cellars are supposed to breathe as well. So if they're completely sealed up, you create that vacuum, and it could cause condensation on the glass and stuff like that. So if there's a little bit of breathing, it helps out too. So usually around the hinges is fine, but I would think window pile, like a one with a 3/8 gap would be fine, because it's gonna smash down a little bit and seal pretty good.
But you could
Thank
put
you.
one of the thresholds on the bottom of the floor.
Right.
Yeah, actually, it's gonna be a double swing in and out.
Nice. Yeah, they're getting more and more popular. They were popular for a while, and then they kind of fell off, and now it's kind of like it's almost like a normal thing in some of these houses. We got a house coming up that has 5 wine cellars in it. One house.
Wow.
Wow.
They got their reds, they got their whites, like this living room and then this living room. It's crazy. So
That is real crazy, because I measured one yesterday, same thing. It had 2. Not 5, but it had 2. I thought that was ridiculous.
5 wine cellars and how many bathrooms?
I don't know how we're not doing the bathrooms in there, so we didn't even look. So we're not doing the showers, we're just doing the wine cellars at this house. So but crazy. I guess you need 5 wine cellars. So
Very nice.
Good information.
Who else is doing these wine rooms?
I'm bidding one right now. See how it turns out.
there's a lot of them.
You know?
Doing one. I don't do too many. my area, it's too rich for them. People around there kind of too cheap. One pay.
I know Dobbins are doing them, right?
I get
That's
one
Keith nodding his head, in case you didn't hear that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We love doing
Keith,
wine cellars.
you're so shy when you get in here, man. It's like, what happens
Just
to you
take
when
it.
you come into this room?
I don't want to suck all the air out of the room. This is your time. Yeah, just let an
Oh,
old
what?
man do his thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
man. Come on, help,
That's what we
help
want
my
to see.
brother out.
Do you guys mostly use 1/2 inch glass on those, or is it a combo between 3/8 and 1/2 inch?
We only use 1/2 inch glass on wine cellars.
Never 3/8.
Yep. Same here.
And if they start worrying, the second one of the customers asks us, well, what about sweating? It's, you got to do the laminated glass. It's not even a question. And so down here, because we deal with the humidity, like Brandon was saying, that's a big thing in the summertime. Not that people leave their doors and windows open, but the humidity is a factor. And once something starts sweating, it's not going to stop. You know, it's not like you add a little caulking and it stops. So it's like you never want it sweating. And we've kind of learned over trial and error where you can and can't get away with keeping a unit chilled with just 1/2 inch monolithic glass like Brando's doing. We do the same thing. We won't use shower hinges in those applications. I got burned a couple times if the gaps are real tight or there's multiple doors and you kind of create a backdraft somewhere in the house. The shower hinges sometimes, depending on how big the door is, will have a tendency to creep open. Now the motor on the AC unit's running a lot. So we like to use we're using a lot of this. It looks like a shower hinge on steroids, a little bigger with the hydraulic closing. I don't know what the part number is. I think we're getting them from Sedev, but Sierra Lawrence has them. FHC has them.
Yeah.
And then if I get someone like if Brando's customer had 5 wine cellars and they came to us and they had a big wine collection, I'm going to sell them on FHC just came out with a thermally broken interior channel, which is sexy, but none of our competitors is even mentioning the word thermally broken. And when you're trying to chill a unit, anybody that's got a high-end wine collection, these are buzzwords that they're aware of because you don't want it to sweat. And then when my competitors,
Keith, what is it? The channel that's thermally broken, like in a storefront aluminum? You know, we have a thermal break in it.
Yeah. Yep. And then they have stuff. FHC. They came out with it at the show at Glass Build. They introduced it.
And you're using laminated glass in this stuff as well?
It's probably 50-50, 1/2 inch. And a lot of them aren't even chilled, you guys. They're like trophy cases.
That's what I'm doing.
But a good portion of them are chilled. And you know, I think it's regional too. It's just like showers. Some people have fiberglass tile. You know, it really depends on the region that you're in. But here in Southwest Florida, it's probably 50-50. You got these new communities, these big houses, a lot of dead space. It's like a piece of artwork with their wine up on the wall, some glass around it. But other ones are creating it as an actual storage chilled unit. And depending on the collection or who it is, you know, we'll kind of rate where we need to go. But 1/2 inch monolithic, no problem. You can keep it chilled 55. Couple factors you got to watch out for. But if they're even concerned about sweat or like liability, if you feel like this is a customer that would run me through the ringer, God forbid this thing sweats, I'm pushing them towards laminate.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be considerably more.
Yeah. We've had people order empty bottles off Amazon. We've had people order empty bottles off Amazon and fill them up with water just for their collection.
Colored water.
For their grandkids. Yeah. Here, have my wine.
Now, does 1/2 inch really make a difference over 3/8 when it comes to that sweating?
Not really. It's just more structural. It's just going to be more of a solid thing, especially because the wine cellars are usually pretty big. So I don't know about anyone in here, but like we default to 1/2 inch on anything over 84 inches tall for the most part because of deflection and, you know, all that. So the wine cellars we're doing there's nothing ever that's under 84 unless it's on top of a counter, and those will do 3/8 sometimes, but usually we'll still do 1/2 inch. But like usually the stuff we're doing is at least 9 feet, 10 feet tall, sometimes 12 feet tall with transoms and stuff. So
Yeah.
Do you find the glass is less bowed if you're using 1/2-inch glass for anything taller than 84? Would that be part of the reason why?
for sure, I feel like it just helps. You're gonna get like that deflection when you open. If you have like a 10-foot door that's 3/8 and you open it, it's gonna wobble compared to like a 1/2-inch door is gonna be a little more stable. So I wouldn't necessarily say it's gonna bow more, because it's, that's all with the tempering and stuff, but it should be pretty consistent. It's just more structural, solid. You get the feel of a little heavier door and everything when you're opening it.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, all shower doors should be 1/2-inch, really, right? I mean,
1/2-inch low iron.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I mean, everything else is just kind of a poser shower door. It's like,
Got a curve in it.
yeah, we could do that 3/8 thing for you if you can't afford a real shower door. Yeah.
You guys are trying to be your guys. I'm so mad if I sold only 1/2-inch.
Skip tougher guys.
Yeah,
that's how
I
you
do that.
It's like, come on, you sissies, suck it up. Get it up the stairs.
Nothing like pulling a man card to make them do more.
Exactly. Pull the cheap card and then the man card.
More profit, higher pay.
That's right. That's right.
There you go.
Keith, you mentioned you're getting a hydraulic hinge from where? Sedan?
Sadev, Sadev, Sadev USA out of Keokuk, Iowa. They got a cool website. It's like specialty stuff. They make everything there. I shouldn't say that. They make a lot of stuff there, and they import some stuff, I think, from Germany. Pretty cool hinge. But Sierra Lawrence has a pretty comparable hinge.
Yeah, CRL 380 is a hydraulic patch fitting, and then you
Yeah.
can use a PH 51 on the top.
It works great.
I like that because it
Mm,
keeps the
very one.
tension on it, and you just with the possible backdraft and popping it open.
Sure. Yeah, I like hydraulic hinges. I just didn't know what it is you had exactly. I wanted to look at it.
I like using the I call it base shoe, but I don't even know what the hell it is. Brando, what is it? The 4-inch at the bottom, 4-inch shoe at the bottom, like the Herculate stuff.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Only in polished stainless, top and bottom. Oh man, it's sexy.
Yeah. It looks classy.
Yeah, it's rich. It feels like a.
It wouldn't look the same if it
ball.
was. It wouldn't look the same if it was black. Like it has to be chrome.
No, it's got to
Yeah.
be polished.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's going the full length or width rather of the door itself, right?
The
Yeah,
rail,
man.
top and bottom rail.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes we do it on. I'll put a picture in the chat.
Yes, it's like a Herculite, basically.
We
CR
just
Hornet-
did one yesterday where you put it had the Herculite patch at the top, and we embedded in it a magnet, and then in the header was the other end of the magnet to a thumb fob or whatever the hell you call it, biometric. So it unlocked the magnet. So you didn't see any locks, but it was buried up in there. Gives you a
Maglock,
spot.
right?
Maglock. Yeah.
Yeah, now you're talking.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Now you're
at this point, you might as
Why
well
not?
pull out all the stops, man. I mean, people are paying like $10,000 or something for an. I mean, there's no reason to skimp on anything.
A lot more than that, but yes, I agree.
Well, I mean, right, for starters.
And then what are you using for hinges? If you're using a top and bottom door rail, are you cutting your closers in the floor, using a concealed overhead, or you're still using like a hydraulic hinge patch fitting?
No, all the above. But when we are doing the shoe, I'm screenshotting it now to put it in the chat. When we do the we'll call it Herculite shoe top and bottom. We'll do a 2-inch by 4-inch header all the way across, and in that we'll put a concealed closer.
Yeah.
And then off of each side of that, we'll attach the side light rail so it all matches.
Gotcha. Okay.
Sometimes you can put it just above the door and then use the regular architectural channel. That actually doesn't look bad.
Right.
Where do we put pictures, you guys? In the
Just
Facebook
share your
chat
screen.
itself?
Oh, you're on a phone.
I can't do that. I can't
Let
do
me
that.
see. Let's see. Yeah, you could probably, I don't know how you do that.
I'm just gonna put it in the Facebook.
Just hold your.
There you go.
Yeah. Just put it in the comments.
Yeah, put it in the comments.
You know those locks,
can-
you know the electronic locks from Adams, right? The ones they came out with, the keypad and everything.
Yeah.
So I have one of those on my wine cellar, and we've sold a few of them, but they discontinued them. They don't make them anymore.
Why?
I don't know why, but they have two different styles, and both of them are discontinued. They're still going to service and do parts for them, but they're not going to manufacture them anymore. So we have 4 wine cellars that we got to do the same in Colorado, and they wanted those locks, and they're discontinued. So
Christina, what lock is it that our customers ended up with in those last wine cellars? Do you remember?
I'd have to look it up. It was something on, honestly, they found it on Amazon, but it was a great looking lock. And
yeah, we ordered a couple on Amazon to try them out. So
are those the ones?
they're like knockoffs of the Adams, right? That they sell on Amazon just to see how they are. You
Is that
can't be
a non-fab deal. It just slips over the edge.
Yeah, it just slips over just like the Adams, right? There's not really that much involved in that lock. It's literally just a computer chip, right? So it can't be that bad. So
Yeah.
I love that lock. It's
Will
a good lock.
it just doesn't work on a pair of doors, which sucks. So I have a lock on my wine cellar, like the Adams right one on a pair of doors, but we just never lock it. So
On Amazon, I actually it's been a long time, but I did a little bit of research on that, and there were some people who were using it on double doors. But you had to have like a stop or something on the bottom for at least doors, if not both.
Yeah, because you have to have an inactive door for it to work right. But we were gonna fab a piece for ours because the Adams right one has two steel pegs that go into like a slotted area. So there's play in it, so you can just open up the doors. But we were gonna fab a piece of metal that went in there that if you cut them 2 holes, almost the same exact size, a little bit bigger, and put it inside the slot, then it wouldn't be able to open up because it would bind. If you tried to open it up, it wouldn't give it enough play to open it up. But it was at my house, and we just never dealt with it. So it's a never-ending project.
Seems like. Well, if anybody finds, I don't think our market is where the Dobman's market is at all in terms of wine cellars and like having concerns about sweating and everything. We're playing catch up, but if I know it's probably coming. So if you guys have brands of locks that you like to use, especially like the really fancy bougie ones with the, I don't know, fingerprint or whatever, that would be really helpful. They're coming. We're just not there yet. I don't think.
Can I ask you a question?
Absolutely.
What area of the country are you in?
We're in Atlanta.
Oh, Atlanta. I've been to Atlanta actually for glass build, and there's a lot of wine drinkers just outside in Buckhead, and I'm sure a lot of every other part of that area. My question to you is how? What's that?
Yeah, go
Brad,
ahead.
mute your mic.
Go ahead.
Hello?
Go ahead, Keith.
Christine, how much advertising are you guys doing to promote wine cellars?
Not wine cellars specifically, so that's a really good question. But to be frank, I don't know how many other guys in our market are doing anything like that. So, I mean, I just don't know if people really know the capability available to them, they're probably buying prefabbed or pre-built, or some kind of kit if they're doing a wine cellar and having their contractor handle it. We do wine cellars though, and so we should absolutely advertise them more. There's money there to be made.
Well, we have a
Sounds
new
like-
partnership.
Oh.
Remember in our new, we've just moved several months ago to a new location, and just so happens a couple units down from us is a guy that imports wine dispensing machines, very sophisticated. Anyway, they also have all the other wine type stuff, wine racks and all this other stuff. So we're going to be putting in a display in our showroom, and I have a feeling it's going to be a good partnership. So this is the first step for us here.
Mhm.
Christine, back to our earlier conversation. I would highly encourage you posting and educating your area in particular on LinkedIn for the wine cellars. I know you mentioned that we're doing wine cellars. Nobody was doing wine cellars down here when we were doing. It was like taboo, even though every high-end restaurant you went into, people had wine collections, and like this was a thing. But to like start putting them on display, one designer did it, and then another. But then as soon as we started blasting it like Brando does on social, well, everybody's got access to that. Now the homeowner's like, well, fuck, I got my collection up in Boston, but I'm bringing it down here. I just didn't know I could put it anywhere. Can you build me one? And I would highly encourage you, especially if your competition's not doing it, you'd be the go-to person. You would kill it on LinkedIn with the wine post, I'm telling you.
Mm.
So what I would do is I was just talking to Brian earlier about this, about like stuff like that, like wine cellars and hire and stuff like that you're getting into. Just download your customer email list of all the customers you've done work for, and educate them and let them know, hey, we just don't do shower doors. We also do wine cellars or whatever else you do, and send that. And then that way you're educating them. And then with social media, it's all free. So just getting the word out there. So a good email blast on your existing clientele is always good to kind of update them with new products and stuff like that and what you're doing.
Yeah, my concern, well, I have a couple of questions, I guess, about how you guys handle these things. So I could pull a list of all of our customer emails, but I know several customers have asked me to not email them ever regarding anything other than exactly their project. And I would have to maintain that manually based on our current system.
Do
So
you think they would like sue you if you sent them like an email?
no, I just don't want to piss people off. I don't want to put a bad taste in somebody's mouth. So I know it's like, the 80-20, but it's still, I mean, I don't like emails. So, but I guess maybe those are the snot people with wine cellars. So not to be a good wine cellar, sorry.
They might change their mind if they get an email about a wine cellar. They might be like, oh, I'm so glad you sent me an email, even though I told you not to, because I want this wine cellar really bad.
That's fair. Okay. You can, maybe I'll spam everybody tomorrow, but
Spam them.
My next question, I guess, is I don't really know that much about wine cellars. I mean, I drink wine. I've got my wine, but I don't.
We're halfway there.
Yeah, sorry, it's 8:30. Thing, but I don't really know what I don't know about wine cellars, and I mean, you guys are talking about, I don't know, different language regarding wine cellars and all this sweating and all this stuff. I mean, I feel like we're going to get ourselves into trouble if we don't know what we're talking about. So, yeah, inch glass.
It really goes on like just research and doing it. Like you just gotta start doing it, because once you start doing a couple of them, you'll get used to it and you'll feel comfortable doing it. It's like anything, even a shower door. If you're not used to doing shower doors, you start doing them, you're going to feel comfortable doing them. So it just takes a few to start doing, and then you'll start understanding it and doing all that. And, we are just providing the surrounding of the thing. So whoever's doing the cooling and stuff like that, like it's kind of on them as well to be able to know if the cooling unit's going to control what it needs to control for putting frameless glass in. So we did a really big wine cellar in Vegas recently. We call them like fish tanks. It was all 4 sides, and we actually had a piece of glass divider in the center. So they had it cooled separately for white wine and red. And it was in the same all in one. And they were like, hey, this thing's it's not holding temperature. Well, when we went back out there to finish the shower doors out there, the homeowner pulled off all the seals. And we're like, well, the seals are gone. Like, it's a frameless unit. What do you expect? And so we did it. And then they came back and they're like, well, now it holds temperature until the afternoon. And then it goes up 5 degrees. Well, it's in a big great room. And then when the sun comes out and they have a window with no blinds on it, like Florida's ceiling that's 20 feet tall in Vegas, like the heat's beating on it. Like, that's why it's just that type of stuff. It's just more of education to the customer and, walking them through what to expect and, all that, but a lot of research, and you're not gonna do or learn it until you start doing it.
That's a good point. Do you use storefronts online to do wine cellars if you're using like patch hardware?
I don't. I mean, I've used storefronts online for some stuff, but not for that. Typically, we just found it easier. We'll draw it up in Showers online, and then we'll go to our PDF and edit our PDF and change out the templates and put on patch fittings and stuff like that. So,
okay, yeah, what we're kind of doing in Smart Builder, changing all of the fittings manually, but I boogered one up last week pretty good. Still feeling that one. I definitely know about falling on your butt to learn something. So we'll do that for wine cellars once my ego recovers.
Yeah, Christina, we ought to request, on that particular hardware from Sarah Lawrence, we ought to go ahead and just request that in, to be brought into our system.
They won't bring it into Showers online at all because they're trying to sell their
And I would think they'd want to sell their hardware to us, Oh,
yeah,
well.
that's the way to play.
Christina, know what you should do is go through your list of contractors or designers and find your favorite one you got good relationship with. Say, hey, listen, we're expanding our business. As you know, wine cellars and stuff is a big thing. It's all over the internet. And it's basically a glorified steam shower. Next time you get a customer that's interested, I'd love to bid on it for you. And get like 4 or 5 of those out. Watch what happens. And then you get your first one. And then when you get that one, you call Brando, you call me, and there's going to be 4 or 5 key things that you have to look for when you get to the house. It's not near an outside window. Like, that's the first thing I look with when he said about the sun. The only 2 things I believe are going to make it sweat is direct sunlight and humidity. As long as the walls inside there are, close cell foam insulation, and then you seal it up good, it's really not rocket science. I mean, there's 4 or 5 things you need to know of, and you can be really dangerous with it. And I would just get on the horn with 2 or 3 of your builders and just plant the seed, because their customers are talking about it. Most builders that I see in the area are fucking talking them out of it because they had a bad experience and now they don't want to do it anymore. So that's why we hit the social media to kind of bypass the naysayers and builders and went straight to the end user. And they're like, I know it can be done because it's all over the internet. Figure it out. And, well, where'd you see it? Oh, this guy, good looking guy down in Naples got it.
I don't mean to monopolize the conversation on this, but I do have a couple more questions, if that's okay.
No, please do. Yeah, this is great.
We've done probably 5 or 6 wine cellars, but in our market, it's mostly people retrofitting some kind of sheetrocked area, whether it's like under their stairs, some kind of closet or something, or just like a weird nook they're trying to fill in their living room. So it's not something that's ever meant to be used as a wine cellar. It's just something we're retrofitting and designing for them, which is great. But we've done 5 or 6 now, and usually it's just a glorified cabinet. It's not like anything. They don't even want seals or anything. It's not.
Right.
Most people spend all their money on the glass and then they don't have the money for the wine.
Well,
So
Room closet.
Lucy's.
What's the problem? Yeah.
that maybe Brad, we should sell some of those wine bottles full of water to people.
Yeah, there you go.
I guess
Well, we did
How-
Lucy's Kitchens. That was not just a glorified cabinet. That was pretty major.
which one?
Lucy's.
Oh no, that was a big deal. Yeah, that was a really big project. Actually, that was stunning. So we should really promote that on our website, Brad, and add a filter for wine cellars. I think it's time. And we can talk to Ryan about that tomorrow. Besides the fact, how has LinkedIn marketing worked for you? It sounds like it's worked for the Dobmans. Has anybody else used LinkedIn for marketing?
I use it a little bit.
Brian's on it now. He's
I
doing
just
good.
I just recently started
I think it's a great.
dipping my toes in.
That's the different. You know, those are the people who are working from home, the professionals who are on LinkedIn all the time. You know, posting about, I don't know, God knows what anymore. But
That's where you're going to find the project managers of companies. And because you can literally go search a company, a contractor that you want to do work for. And it's going to tell you who's affiliated with that company. It's going to tell you, this is a project manager for the company. This is an estimator. This is a designer. And then you can start following them and you can contact them. So like, it's just your reach to contractors is so much easier on LinkedIn.
really, okay.
And 99% of the people that are on LinkedIn this is a statistic by them. 99% of the people on LinkedIn will never post anything. So you're shooting fish in a barrel. You can go find the contractors you want, start engaging in all their content, and you will be their best friend overnight. It's like same with Brenda. I'm shooting fish in a barrel for 3 years now on LinkedIn. Nobody uses it.
I mean, Keith posts enough probably for about 50% of those people.
Yeah, I think I'm
That's awesome.
getting notified. You're spamming me. But it's good.
Thanks for watching. Yeah.
Keith, man, I appreciate that. That's awesome stuff.
All right. Well, those are my questions. I appreciate.
Yeah, maybe you should try doing on your own house a wine cellar for yourself,
There you go.
right?
I live in about 800 square feet in the middle of Atlanta, so I don't think that's happening anytime. Although this cubby behind me is pretty darn ugly, but that's my husband's best.
Absolutely.
There you go.
Boom. There you go. Convert it. Yeah. Wow. Great discussion. I mean, that's I'm glad we talked about that because that's, really the obvious kind of next step. If you're doing shower doors, here's this whole other opportunity. You're already in there doing glass. It's very similar. It sounds like there's a few things to learn, but yeah, you've got.
You're not going to have any water leaks.
Right, exactly.
I'll tell you what, like it's definitely going mainstream because you got Shea Holmes, who's a national builder. I mean, they're speccing that out in some of their house. That's an option for some of their houses to put a wine cellar in some of those tract homes. So, I mean, that's how popular they are.
Yeah, I guess we're surprised because we don't really work with major builders like that. We only work with smaller builders, and they don't usually have LinkedIn. That's why I'm just so jazzed about it. But you guys are right. I mean, creating the demand for the products that we're able to do is the way to grow our business without spending buku bucks on advertising. So it's low-hanging fruit for sure.
And there's a lot of that. You'll be surprised how much low-hanging fruit there is.
If you build it, they will come.
Yeah, and you know what I found out with the wine cellars, you guys, which is wild to me because there's wine cellars that are the same square footage as the master shower that we're doing. And I mean, obviously you got to use some of the different hardware for obvious reasons for chilling, but overall, the cost of goods sold isn't that much more. But people kind of lose sight of the value of $1 when you're talking about wine because they look at it. which is mind blowing to me. You use the shower a couple times a day to clean your body, and they nitpick and nickel and dime you for the most part. But when it's the wine, it's a whole different animal. It really, I don't know about you, Brenda, but they don't talk about it. Like, they're not so concerned about the price.
The margins
They
are
wanna
way
show
better on
off
a
their
wine cellar.
trophies.
The margins
Oh
are
my
definitely way
God.
better on a wine cellar than a shower door.
Well,
So-
how can you nickel and dime a wine cellar when you're talking to your contractor about the thousands, sometimes more, tens of thousands of dollars of wine, and you're
Right.
going to $40? Like, come on.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
an investment. Now you're protecting your investment. Huge, man. It's a big deal. Awesome. Great talk, everybody. Thanks for coming. We
Thank you.
it wasn't about showers so much, but low hanging fruit. That's what we're talking
go.
about. All right, everybody.
Thanks, Brandon. Appreciate it.
Guys.
Yeah.
Appreciate all the good
Thank you,
info.
guys.
All right, Chris.
Thanks,
night.
guys.